Good afternoon, folks. How you doing? This is the Real Life Real Estate Investing Show, where we talk about real life real estate situations, where we bring you real life real estate solutions. And this is actually going to be one of those shows, man. That look, I've been actually contacted. We've chatted back and forth about how we gonna put this together, man. We were actually supposed to do this in what was it, St. Thomas?
Yeah, we were trying to do that at the new office, but it didn't work out. But we'll still get you down there.
Definitely. You know, but listen, if you guys know anything about this gentleman that's sitting next to me, you know he's a beast and he's a master at what he does. So it was necessary for me to actually have him come on the show. This is the second time. Mm-hmm. First time, most of you probably have seen the show that we were on the ocean or on the lake the first time. So you know this is what he does. He does things big. You know what I mean? So I definitely appreciate you being here. He's actually going to be one of our speakers at Master the Money Game. And without further ado, Dr. David Anderson.
Oh man, here you go, man.
Listen, tell the folks who you are, man. Look, because if I tell them, you know, we're gonna probably be sitting here.
YouTube for that. Right. You know, you can just go to YouTube. I'm not being arrogant, but it's just like
it is what it is. You know,
like YouTube has become like your business card now.
Definitely.
It's like over 200 videos on YouTube that kind of outline my entrepreneurial career over the past 10 years. Definitely. But to answer the question, my name is Dr. David Anderson Sr. For some of y'all that might not be familiar with my entrepreneurial career, I'm a real estate investor, but I'm also I'm into film. We have 2 films that we've completed. One is called Generation 1, The Search for Black Wealth, and that's currently on Netflix. The other film is called Black Friday. Some of y'all might have seen that. That's also on Netflix. So I've executive produced both of those, and then I'm working on another film called Return to Kemet. So we're tracking Anthony Browder, who has located some ancient African antiquities in Egypt, and he's located the oldest African antiquities, which ties in ancient Egyptian history to Africa.
Wow!
And so we're following him through the tombs, and he's located the tomb of Karakamun, and we send a film crew in there to kind of document the whole experience. So we're capturing greatness, African greatness, all the way from Cairo down into the Sudan, into South Sudan, down into Addis Ababa, into Ethiopia, which is the mother civilization, cradle of civilization.
So basically, all the one he said, if y'all heard him, he said, "You ain't did nothing unless you rode a camel."
you know, we all have other interests.
Right.
I mean, everybody's a real estate investor, but I got interest in media.
Yeah.
We try to keep the connections there.
Definitely. And I salute you, man. You know, I know, we have some history.
Yes, of course.
And I was having some conversation with some gentlemen about, kind of how we connected and, how we've evolved,
Definitely.
But you evolved. Like you seriously evolved.
Well, when we first met, so people don't know the history. Let me just tell them right quick before we get into it. When I met Glenn, my modus operandi of transportation was a scooter. It wasn't a Range Rover. I know a lot of people's like, David, I got 4 or 5 different Range Rovers I could choose from.
Right.
It was a scooter. It was straight up. It was a scooter, and the scooter took about $3 or $4 worth of gas, and I could like zip around. But it wasn't cool. It was cool then, but it wasn't cool because like when it rains and stuff.
Yeah.
40 miles an hour.
Hey, but listen. Listen, you being modest. Don't let him fool you. Even on that scooter, he was getting it.
I have a choice, man.
He was killing them.
Situations. So, long and short, we hooked up. I had a multi-level marketing company that was financing called National Lending Corporation, and it was actually there that I got the education that I needed to do what's happening right now.
Right.
All of the things that we do at the Real Estate Group Partners, the impetus of that was that 9 months that we spent on Charlottesville Road, man.
Yes, indeed.
Right. That's where all of these ideas kind of manifested.
Mm-hmm. And I just look at, man, some of the stuff that you were doing, man. Even to the point we went to Miami for the conference. Man, I said, this brother, like, you got to Miami before everybody. I said, this brother I knew you was doing some major stuff, man. When you had those yellow and black cards, like, nobody even had the idea to do something like that.
Yeah, I guess my vantage point is a little bit different from everyone else's. Because, people, how you grow up kind of determines how you handle things later on in life. And I had a dope childhood. I didn't, get molested or nothing crazy like that, but we didn't have a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? And I remember how it felt to like have your stomach turning and knotting up from not eating.
Man,
You know what I'm
yes,
saying? Like
yes.
there's a feeling that you get when you're not eating and you hungry.
Right, right.
And it like, cause people be like, well, man, I'm hungry. But I'm talking about like when you haven't eaten in like 3 or 4 days, like you hungry. You know what I'm saying? And I vividly know the pain that causes for the stomach.
Absolutely.
And so
Absolutely.
while everybody else might have been coming to learn, you know, like, oh, I want to make money.
Right.
Or I want to get out of my situation because my baby mama tripping. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, I don't ever want to have to be in a situation where I go back to how that felt.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I was operating from a whole different vantage point because I was like, yo, I have to create a vehicle that's going to take care of myself and now my mom. You know, I have a previous marriage. I have children in college. I got a son. My son just got back from Japan. David Trudy goes to Middleburg. You know?
Wow.
His tuition is $75,000 a year. You know, I got real stuff happening. So I can't just be in here trying to figure out how to flip a house.
Definitely,
You know what I mean?
definitely,
Take the
definitely.
equity out. Like, ain't nobody got time for that. We trying to build wealth.
And you know, we were actually just having a conversation about something like that. So let's get into that a little more because you said something, man, and I really want people to get this. I know we talk about real estate investing, and I was having a conversation with Marquell Russell. Man, this brother, phenomenal.
Chain.
And one of the things I think oftentimes that we miss is having a big enough why. Like what you just said, you know, you got to be focused on more than just flipping a house.
Right.
Like flipping a house is a resource.
Right.
But it has to be something much deeper than that.
Yeah, we financing films. I just spent $200,000 sending a film crew to Egypt.
Right. Yeah, I saw that.
You know,
Yeah.
like we have to have a bigger why. Like you
Absolutely.
said. You know, so when you have a bigger why, it kind of gives everything a reason as to why you're doing it.
Definitely.
Because sometimes like this type of work that we do, like as we're speaking right now, I have like a rehab going on in Union City. So there's some gentlemen that I'm supposed to be moving in Monday or Tuesday. We might not meet that deadline, but sometime next week they're moving in, and these are homeless veterans.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And they got guaranteed income.
Definitely.
So these are guys that are getting guaranteed $2,000, $3,000 a month, but they don't have a place to live.
Wow.
Like how crazy is that?
Yeah.
So part of what we're doing in the portfolio is that we're providing houses for that populace of individuals.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So you gotta have a bigger why. It can't just be like, oh, I want to do real estate so I can flip houses so I can get a dope car. You know, ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah.
We gotta have a plan in place on how we can get back what's been taken from us. You understand what I'm saying? Because this is America is about equity.
Definitely.
The court is about equity. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? So my whole thing now is not how can I flip a house? It's how can I actually get reparations that's due me and my ancestors? How can I get that money back without putting my fists in the air and causing a whole bunch of controversy about what it is that I want and making demands from a government that's not gonna, honor that.
Man,
ain't even no space for that no more.
Right.
In this environment that we're in.
But it's deep though, man. It's deep. Like, that's why, man, you one of the guys that I have a ton of respect for, man, because you make us think on a whole nother level. You know what I mean? We think on a level of consciousness that on the surface, just flipping a house, we might miss. You see what I mean? But you have us think beyond that and have us, kind of elevate ourselves in the sense that this is what we need to do in order for it to even make sense to do what we continue to do.
Not to isolate other people that might be watching this. The black man has to own land. Men in general, regardless of who you are, black, white, whatever, need to own land. It's in the book. I mean, if we believe this in the book, it says, possess the land.
Possess the land.
That's a mandate.
Yes, absolutely.
God commands you to possess the land, and then furthermore to subdue it.
Right.
So that's God's command to men all on the planet. And then you got brothers talking about, hey, brother, can I borrow $5? But God told you to possess the land.
Right.
So you actually broke because you're not listening to God.
Wow.
But the black man has a responsibility to possess land because you have more rights in this country when you own land than you do as a black man in America.
Wow.
And so if the conversation is an equity conversation because of displacement and all of these other things, disenfranchisement and all these other economic injustices that we have felt and deal with and lived through, then you have no other obligation but to own land in this country.
Wow.
Because you have to take care of your family. Some of us might have been married more than once. You have other families that you have to take care of. You got grandparents that are getting older that got, need $5,000 and $10,000 a month for adult daycare and all these other type of things that are going on.
Yes.
The black man cannot be in a position where he's begging or asking another individual or system to take care of any of his needs.
Wow.
I'm against that.
Wow. Wow.
So when people say, oh, Dr. Anderson is talking this real estate business, no, I'm not talking about real estate business. I'm talking to the men in general, but more specifically black men, to wake the God up inside of them.
Wow.
That's what this is about. It's not about flipping a house. This is about how can we raise our conscious level to an extent where we're taking care of everything. Listen, if we was handling our business the way that we were supposed to handle our business, black women wouldn't be, running around the way that they run it. And I'm not saying that to cause an argument or a fight, but in Atlanta, there's way too many black women running around doing 5 and 6 different things.
That's true.
They flipping houses, they got nail salons, they selling weed, they got all this stuff going on.
You say they sell a weave or weed?
Maybe both.
Right.
That could be
Another
Tennessee.
side.
It's the state of Tennessee, the state of North Carolina, it's legal.
Right.
But all I'm saying is, I have clients whose husbands are multimillionaires, and the wives. There's nothing wrong with the wife running around doing business, but some of these women who are married to these gigantic juggernaut businessmen are doing way too much. And what I'm saying is, it all is our issue. Because if we bringing it in the way that we supposed to be bringing it in, then they have the choice to go outside and be a businesswoman if they choose to.
Right.
Not going out here slaying dragons because they feel that they have to. And that is our problem.
Wow.
It's our problem as men, and it's more specifically our problem as black men. So my goal, and I got a book coming out called Black Male Initiative on February 1st. Stedman Graham is writing the forward currently.
Wow.
My goal is to address those issues and to teach men in general, and more specifically black men, what are the strategies that we need to implement, now. Whether you're 50, whether you're 20, 30, whatever hell, age bracket you are. What can we do right now? What can we implement to build a foundation so that we can build wealth, so that we can have control over water sources, control over our energy situations, and be able to generate, money and feed our families.
Yeah.
That's what this is about. How can we feed our families without having to go rob, sell dope? All of that stuff is low level, man. Like nobody does. Like who does that? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
How stupid is that? You gonna go move a package and then you putting yourself at 30 years to 40 years? Come on, man. Who does that? So we have needs, man, and our needs are all related to economics.
So that brings me to a question that actually a conversation I had with a gentleman maybe 3 years ago. And what he said was there are no opportunities for black men. And that's why they resort to the things that they do. What do you say to something like that?
Was this gentleman white?
No.
He was in the community? All right. So there's some truth to that. But remember, I believe, and some people might be upset about this statement, but I truly believe that the black man is God. Genesis 1, chapter 1, God spoke. He spoke all of this into existence, right? So if God spoke, in him speaking, he's activated everything in here. The studio, the green screen, the camera, this gentleman here. He's activated that in his word, and his just speaking. He just activated all that. Later on in the account, it says that God created us in his likeness and image. So if God created us in his likeness and image, then that means I have some type of God-like abilities. I might not be God. I'm not trying to play God.
Right.
But I got abilities.
Absolutely.
I got God-like abilities.
Well, that's what the word says,
So if I understand that as a black man, then I understand that I can create through the word whatever the hell I need, whenever the hell I need it. If it's for the protection and growth of my family.
Right.
Because whether it says to go out, be forth, and be productive.
Right.
So my premise is, there's all these arguments about job creation. There's not enough jobs for us. We're always yelling and putting our fists in the air. And we on the Al Sharpton show, right? We like, brother Al,
Shout out to Al. Shout out to Reverend Al Sharpton.
My point is this: if we understand who we are, we created pyramids, man. These megalithic structures are all over the globe. I'm documented. They still trying to figure out how this was built.
Right.
If we built that, then why are we talking about I need some money? Who does that, man? Like what grown man goes to another grown man and asks him for money? Like who does that? So that's an issue. You understand? That's an issue because that means that this brother hasn't activated his mind to an extent where he can figure it out. And that's my underlying message. My underlying message really in these books and everything that we're doing is figure it out.
Well, that's a good point that you make, because some people might say they don't know how to figure it out.
We can't take that position right now, Glenn.
Okay.
That's a cop-out. You got Uber. Come on, man. You can drive for Uber. You don't got a car? You can go out here. They got these birds is out here, man. They paying $20 a bird, man. These little scooters that's out here in front of. Come on.
Yeah.
Cats can get in the car and drive around and pick up these birds, charge them up, release them in the morning. You get 100 birds every night. You can at least pick up 20 birds a night at $20.
Wow.
What are you telling me?
So let's clarify to the people what birds are. We don't want.
So in Atlanta,
I know what you're talking about, but I don't.
Electric scooters.
Okay.
They call them birds. Jump. Uber's even got
some of my cousins might be watching. They might hear bird. They might think you're talking about something else.
So in Atlanta, we have these e-scooters is now a market, and Uber has decided to get into that. So Uber has an e-scooter called Jump. The first one that I saw is called Bird, and then there's another one called Lime. But in this area, this has become a modus operandi for transportation.
Yes.
Okay? There's people that live in this building, there's sous chefs that live in this building, upstairs, and they go down to work at the Marriott, and they have cars that are in the deck, but they go by Bird.
Right.
Every night.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So who's going to maintain that?
Yeah.
Bird needs those birds to be fixed.
Right.
Somebody can fix those birds and charge Lime, Bird, and Jump.
Wow.
By the hour.
Right.
So there's some mental health that's going on in our community that's not being addressed, that's gotten us to the point that we resort to asking another grown man for $5. Not even, let me get $500,000. Nah, brother, can I get $5? We got work to do.
Yeah.
It's not about flipping a house. We got real work to do.
Right.
We got to learn what are the tools that we need to take care of ourselves.
So how do we begin let's go back to the hood for a minute. How do we begin to change the mindsets or how do we begin to change the trajectory of the hood? How do we get...
Reading is fundamental.
So again, that's an excellent point. So for somebody and now the guy I spoke to that said that there was no opportunity. I told him, I said, listen, with the internet, I can't accept that as an excuse.
That's an excuse.
Right. So with the folks that are still in that mindset, and when you say reading is fundamental, how do we get the folks that are still of the mindset that this is my only option? How do we get that information to them that are still in those situations?
So as the founder of the Empowerment Radio Network, which is the nation's only 100% black-owned talk radio, that is in the business of putting that information out for the past 5 years. Les Brown and Stedman Graham and Warren Valentine and Bev Smith and all these Rashad Ritchie, all these great minds. I've come to the conclusion that the individual who you're discussing, and I'm not making an indictment, but having put the money up to build a network to communicate this type of information to our people and to have watched the response, I don't think that there needs to be a push in that direction. We're at war right now. And in war, there's something called casualties of war. They call it collateral damage.
Wow.
Okay?
Wow.
So we got to love ourselves enough to put a clarion call out and only address and pour into those who are ready. I'm not going to walk around and speak at engagements anymore for people who are not ready, willing, and able to respond to what it is that I'm talking about.
Yes.
I'm changing lives. I'm changing the trajectory of your entrepreneurial career.
Absolutely.
With all the stuff that I've been through.
Right. Right.
So I'm not coming with a you can do better, believe in yourself, I believe in you message. That's not me. I'm telling you, if you want to get it, these are the steps that you take to be successful. It ain't no, I believe in you. It ain't none of that. And the importance is, listen, they're talking about recidivism rates, right? They're talking about these cats that are behind the wall. There's 8 million black men behind this. There's 42 million black people in America. 8 million of them is in the prison industrial complex, the CCA, Corrections Corporation of America, right? These cats is getting ready to come home in the next 5 to 10 years. A good bulk of that 8 million is getting ready to be released in the next 5 to 10 years.
Wow.
What are they gonna do? Ain't nobody hiring them.
Right.
Ain't nobody hiring no convict that's a black man. They gotta become entrepreneurs.
Definitely.
Period.
Definitely.
They gotta become real estate investors. They need to become logistics specialists. Amazon is breaking out. They got 4 locations in Atlanta right now. They got 1 in Macon. They got 1 in Atlanta. They got 2 others in Georgia. 4. They can't ship fast enough.
Right.
That means that if you a black man talking about there ain't no job opportunities, gotta hear with that. Listen, man, you got a box truck. I got 2 box trucks sitting in the parking lot right now. Them box trucks move. I could go on my phone right now and tell you who's picking up and who's making deliveries. And that happens when I'm sleeping, that's happening.
Wow.
So who's going to tell these cats that are coming out, this 5 million cats that's coming back out into society, who's in there right now behind the wall teaching them? That they know they're getting ready to be released for 9 months before they're released. They already know. I can go to Amazon.com. I can go get a loan to go buy a box truck from Craigslist for $5,000, $3,000. And I can go get me a route. Routes is paying 5 G's a week.
I've seen it.
Ain't nobody telling black man, get a box truck? Should no black man in Atlanta be without no box truck right now? That's crazy.
Damn, I gotta go buy a box truck.
Dude, we got to get box trucks, man. Box trucks is what's up right now. I'm talking about I got some J's on. Where's your box trucks at?
That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying?
I was just telling some people, man, every time we get a chance to have a conversation, man, you always elevate my thinking.
We have to.
You know what I mean?
Because, listen, like, that's something that, honestly, that's a side business that I created because, there was some competition going on in the house and my wife was feeling some kind of way or whatever. So I was like, yo, why don't you get into something? You know what I'm saying? So she took up the initiative and now she's like handling the logistics on these trucks that we use when we putting people out because I own this evictions company. So she's like, I'm like, these trucks is just sitting here unused.
Wow.
You want to do something, she's like, I want to do t-shirts. Everything is a different day, it's something else. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, you don't got to do this to compete.
Right.
We're working together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But if you're doing it, do something that's going to make money.
Right.
Amazon is here. They got contracts. Cats is getting contracts left and right. Get the DOT number, right? Let me get the insurance. Now we got the authority to run.
That's what's up.
And manage this stuff. We got Sprint drives on the truck. The stuff comes to the phone. You looking at it. You pick up, drop off. You calling Labor Ready. We got an account for Labor Ready. We ain't got a touchdown.
Wow.
Labor Ready comes out. They pay these guys. I'm not even having to make the payroll.
Wow.
This is something she's doing from the house. She's talking about 30 G's next month. I'm like, what? What's going on?
Wow.
30 grand a month on 2 trucks? So what I'm saying, Glenn, is that's a farce, man. That's a false narrative that somebody's propagating into the market for minds that are weak to accept, to keep them in place.
Right.
Somebody's doing this on purpose.
Wow.
And they targeting us. And it's got to stop, man.
How can we change that, though? I mean,
what we doing right now, man? What we do whenever we have the opportunity to speak, whenever we have the opportunity to caucus and conference and do things like what you're organizing, real entrepreneurs.
Definitely.
We talked about this last year. I was like, yo, don't nobody need to speak at your conference if they haven't made no $1 million. Like, the requirement should be, if you want to speak, let me see your tax returns.
Right.
I know. Shoot. What you call it can vouch for that because he done did the taxes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Brian. Yancey, you already know what Yancey's doing.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? So like you got real millionaires that's like multi-millionaires.
Absolutely.
That's spitting this game. And to your point earlier, like what do we do? That's what we need to do. We need to have qualified people in the community that are doing real things.
Right.
Give training classes. over extensive periods of time.
Got it. Okay.
Because that's how like if there's a young cat that say, yo, I want to get in, what do I got to do? All they got to do is show up. I can't get brothers to show up.
Wow.
Listen, brothers show up. I got more women working in the office. You seen them, they running around.
Yeah.
There's more chicks in the office than there are dudes.
Right.
Dudes come in here, they be like, yo, Dr. Anderson, I want to throw down. I be like, all right, cool. Here's this box truck, go clean this house out. One cat called me and was like, yo, man, it's raining. I don't pick up stuff in the rain, Dr. Anderson. I'm out. I was going to teach this kid how to make $1 million.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So the brothers don't want it. The women want it more than the dudes.
You are hitting the nail on the head.
So I'm like, yo, this is crazy, man.
Yeah.
We got work going on right now. I got like 45 houses that Nicole is over there trying to work right now. 45 that she's trying to off. In the next like quarter, this is first quarter, we coming on the market. 45 houses, we getting ready to off. You know how much work that is?
Right.
Every morning I got to call cats to come in. And I got to plead with them to get to the job site on time. Then I got to go and make sure they doing what they say they supposed to be doing. So that's not an indictment on the black man all the way. It means that we, me, you, Yancey, Joe Burt, like these cats that's really doing stuff, we got to train more.
Definitely.
Because women don't need to be trained. They already like, put me in the game.
But you said something major though, man, about getting them to show up.
Cats don't want to show up, man. They want quick
what y'all
money
doing
right now? They don't want to put no work in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is a gym, man. This is the gym of entrepreneurship.
Definitely.
That's why I came like this, man. I ain't come in no suit. This is a gym.
Yeah,
well, I'm not knocking. You're supposed to have your suit on. You
made me wear a suit.
No. You good. Good. But where I'm at right now, this is a gym. We got to exercise this. We got to exercise this, and we got to exercise this. Because if it's not being worked out every day, cats are going to fall back into that narrative of, I can't make it.
Right.
The system got the foot on my neck. I got a felony. My credit is jacked up.
Right.
All of that BS, man. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's a solution. We got solutions for all of this stuff.
You know, that's amazing, man. And I look at what you're talking about and the conversations that I've had with certain folks, man, about the things that we provide. Like we're solutions providers, like you said. And we have what's available to people to get them to the next level, but getting them to show up.
They don't want to show up, man.
You know,
they don't want to show up.
And I think that the thing that people in many cases they've accepted that, this isn't, I can't buy this either, because we're in 2019 now. You know, I can't buy that people accept the. I'm trying to describe it politically correct. Because could accept a substandard life.
Man, it's a problem.
You know, I'm just like,
and that's why we have to speak to the God in the man. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like the woman is already awake, man. Black women, most black women are already awake. Right. They get it. Right. They graduate in college more than we are. They got businesses. They got aspirations. We don't have a problem speaking to them.
That's
when
right.
I go speak, there's 80% of my clientele is black women. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
That's what's up.
But when we trying to get to the black man, come on, man.
Yeah.
Dude got excuses. Yo, on this day, I could tell you, even at your event, I'm going to put it out there. Right. I'm going to say, yo, I'm looking for some cats to come in the office and throw down. We raising $10 million a month. I'm going to show you how to do it. This is part of the presentation. I'm going to show you what we do. Matter of fact, I'm going to talk about it in a few minutes. I'm going to show you how we raise money.
January 19th.
I'm going to show you how we raise money.
Y'all better be there.
I'm going to show you how to do it. It ain't rocket science. It don't require credit score. It don't require all of this foolishness from the bank. I can show you how to do it. They won't be on time. They won't even show up. Yo, Dr. Anderson, you know, the Migos was in town. And Bone Thugs was, they had the Puff Puff Pass tour, Dr. Anderson. I had to go see Lazy Bone.
Right. Is that something that's going on for real, though?
What's going on tonight? Fool called me talking about I can't make it.
That's crazy.
I'm going to see Lazy Bone.
So I've had situations like that where I've actually had people brought in, as interns, and to show them how to do, to invest in real estate. But the problem I find in many cases is that they don't have vision. When they see what they see is what's right in front of them. And they don't see beyond like the current situation. Like, of course, the bills and everything and what's happening at home is in the forefront, but they don't see beyond Georgia Power.
Our job is to break them out of that thought process. That's a slavery thinking. So we have to understand language. We have to understand it. So we got to first understand that there's two types of languages, right? There's a master's language, and then there's a slave language. So the slave language is created by the masters, and the masters inject the slave language into the slave's diction, and perpetuate it so that the slave can continue to speak this kind of stuff to each other to keep them on some low level stuff. All right. So because remember, in the beginning, God created the word, right? And the word has, I mean, they got science on this. You can Google the Quark study, and the Quark study scientifically shows through Columbia College the impetus of what it is, what our environment is, what our world has been created on, and they call it a quark. Whole nother conversation. Right. So it basically validates everything that the Bible's talking about that God spoke, because in a quark it's a sound wave, and the sound wave is the word.
Man,
so you can check that out.
You just went over.
We'll get into that. But into this language thing, the masters injected NT into the language. For instance, masters talk.
I've heard this before.
I can meet you at 3:00 to do the video.
Right.
Masters talk. I can. Might be a little late, but I can. Right. Slave talk. Dave, I need you to shoot this video. Man, I can't.
Right.
NT. Slave conversation.
Yes. I've
slave talk. So what we have to do is we have to deprogram how we talk to each other. My brother, can you show up at January 19th to speak? Brother, I got this stuff going. I can't do that.
Right.
You can, brother. You can.
Yeah.
Brother, I can't do that. Brother, I believe you can. Let's think about what's stopping you from committing and saying that you can. What's stopping you from doing that, brother?
Wow.
So that's the deep first understanding that there is a slave language, and then being aware enough not to even repeat that when you talking big boy talk. Because when we start dealing with real, the real, we don't talk like that amongst each other.
That's real. Yeah.
The girls come in here and start talking crazy, be like, yo, you talking crazy. You need to go back out there and talk like that to your friends, but you don't come up in here and talk slave talk.
Wow.
Because we're constantly trying to create, man. We're constantly trying to fix and solve challenges so that we can get to the closing table, get the HUD one. You know what I'm saying? So if we talking crazy like that amongst ourselves, how are we going to have the belief system in place to really figure out how to close?
Yes.
All the challenges that we deal with.
Man.
Title companies calling and talking about, oh, well, we can't close this because there's an encumbrance to title. Oh, well, I guess we can't close this week because there's an encumbrance to title. No, there's not. Let's figure this out.
Yes.
You understand? So that's the issue. We don't have a system that's in place to challenge the language that's been inserted into our diction that we perpetuate amongst ourselves.
I got to give a shout out to my brother Ramon Tooks, man. He talks about every time we're around him, if somebody says try, right?
Try? Who tries? Right. Are you serious?
Right.
Come on, man. Babe, your wife. She said, Glenn, can you try to pay the mortgage this month?
I'm going to have to try to find some place to stay.
Who does that? Right. I'm going to try.
Right.
I'm going to try. My son called me, Dad, I need to pay for school. When's the bill due? Next week? I'm going to try. Boy, it's at Middlebury, man. Right. Come on.
Man, but you're right, man. We got to work on changing that diction. We got to work on, with one another. And it becomes so necessary. We don't know many times the thing that, like, growing up where we grew up, the language that we picked up from mom and dad and grandma and those kind of situations, a lot of that we need to be deprogrammed from.
Most definitely.
You know what I mean? And if we don't realize that, I believe that's why a lot of the situations are still going on with people who live those substandard
Most definitely.
They don't.
They believe.
Going back to what you said about reading is fundamental.
Books have changed everything for me.
Man.
In fact, at your seminar, the first thing that I talk about, because I have it broken down into 5 tenets that I'm going to be dropping. My second tenet is 15 books that have transformed my entrepreneurial career. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So we're going to talk about what's going on, politically and economically, but then right after that, it's like, how do we change that and then I dropped these 15 different books. So you can't come to your event. You can't state that you are entrepreneurs, which is the definition for a female entrepreneur, or entrepreneur, which is French, Anglo-Saxon male version of an entrepreneur. You can't speak these kinds of things and come to an event searching for information and not be reading books.
Yes.
Like it kills me. People are like, yo, I made $1 million. You did? Well, what you do with $1 million? Well, I did this, I did that. 2009, that's every real estate. 2009, I lost it. But wait a minute. If you made $1 million and you was reading The Power of Zero by David McKnight, you would know how to operate in a 0% tax bracket. Therefore, that capital gain, that $1 million capital gain that you made, you would have had it in a self-directed IRA or some other type of real estate investment trust or tax lien or some kind of other vehicle that is bringing you a set rate of interest every month.
That's what's up.
You don't just make $1 million and because of 2009, you lose it. Who does that?
To your point, I did that a few times.
Oh, of course.
But I wasn't reading. So, I was reading, but I wasn't. Like now I study.
Oh man.
You know what I mean? It's a difference. Like you can just read and, flip through the pages and, okay, I heard that. But now I study. But then I wasn't reading. So even though I did well financially, I didn't, when the market was crashing, I did like everybody else did. I didn't do like the readers did. They went and reinvested. I didn't reinvest.
Well, see, that's
I stayed at home and paid bills and, that kind of stuff.
That's an issue.
Yes.
Because what I'm learning is that it's the information, the application of the information. It ain't even the money. It's the people who got money come to me all the time.
Right.
They got millions of dollars. These people don't know what to do with it.
Right.
It's the person with the intelligence, with the information, who can synthesize the information into something that we call intelligence.
Absolutely.
And then using that intelligence is what brings you the money. For instance, in the military, right? What do? They spend millions of dollars putting birds in, and birds meaning satellites, to go around Earth to spy on other countries and people who are threats to the nation. That's intelligence.
Right.
They use that data that they collect, and then they execute. Right. So that's how we gonna find Osama bin Laden. They knew it was Osama bin Laden. Right. Come on, man. So we gotta move like that, like how the man moves on a military level. We gotta move just like that on a real estate investment level. Right. Because it's not about information; it's about the synthesizing of that information to get to intelligence. Yeah. And you invest in intelligence. But if you ain't reading, you don't even know what intelligence is or what information is. Because you don't understand the philosophies. So when people come to these events and they like, yo, I'm ready to make this $1 million. Are you really?
Yes.
Like, what are you reading?
Yeah, you're right.
Have you read The Power of Zero? Do you know what a self-directed IRA? Do you have the handbook of self-directed IRAs? Like, how can you be a real estate investor and not know this stuff, man? Yeah. Like, who does this?
That's real.
You go to your mom and you would rather borrow money from this one cat I know, and this is my dog. I love this dude. I ain't even gonna put him on blast like this. This cat went to another chick that he was dealing with, borrowed a substantial amount of money, got married to a new chick, and lost the $150,000 investment from the previous chick. Those are the decisions that black men are making because they want it so bad. They want to be successful. I want to be a billionaire so freaking bad. Buy all the things that I did not have. Wow. I don't want to read a book and learn all the strategies so that I can create some money without going to my baby mommies. Just saying. Who does that?
See, they don't know you was a DJ. You can break that stuff down.
BET, Rap City the Basement, 2001 to 2004, baby. Big Tick, what's up, man? Yeah. But what I'm saying is, that's what we trying. That's my job. Yeah. I'm coaching him, trying to, put him through this pickle, man, and trying to maneuver. But when he called me with this, I was like, yo, why would you do this? You got access to me, brother. Right. You got access. You got full access. You call, I answer. And you got yourself into this. So if I'm thinking about my homie who put himself in this situation, think about all these other cats that don't know nothing about tax lien certificates. Don't know nothing about earned income credits.
Right.
The opportunity zone, job tax credits. And now these people done gave us 30, yo man, listen, I got a 30-year abatement. 30-year abatement for 90% of my income for the next 30 years.
Wow.
Translation. That means I don't have to pay taxes on my capital gains. I have to pay taxes, but I will only pay 10%. Translation. We grossed $10 million this year, and it cost me $9 million to make that $10 million, then I'm paying $100,000.
Wow.
To the United States Virgin Islands. This is cold, man. This ain't no esoteric, Nubian, more sovereign man, more strategy. This is United States Tax Code Section 934.
Wow. Wow.
Why Wesley Snipes people didn't tell him about that?
Wow.
Huh? Why what you call it from the Fugees, old girl who was singing. Lauryn Hill people don't know about that.
Yeah.
Why they got Ron Isley singing Golden Lady on the YouTube to the warden in upstate New York on tax evasion? What's up with that? Ain't nobody talking about Section 934 in the United States Tax Code? Ain't nobody talking about 937 in Puerto Rico? You paying 4% if your business is based there and you own land in Puerto Rico. 4% on capital gains. Ain't nobody talking about this?
Wow.
But these are real quote-unquote millionaire entrepreneurs running around Atlanta, quote-unquote dropping information. Show me your tax returns, man. Let's see what you did last year.
Right.
Because you lying.
Yeah. Yeah.
You flipping houses or you hustling. You wholesaling. You doing this fisticuff. You're not building nothing. You follow what I'm saying? And to build means that 1/4 of your wealth goes straight to taxes.
Right.
The $400 toilet at the Pentagon.
Right. Right.
So we gotta have real knowledge, intelligence, to not just figure out what to do, but when it's coming in, where to put it. And how to mitigate taxes.
So you gonna tell the folks at the event how to do this?
Oh my God! When coming to this event, I'm gonna show you how to do some critical things.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you how to raise money. One of the big things that is a hindrance to African Americans, especially black men and women, is the amount of capital that's invested. Like somebody asked me like 5 years ago, it was like, yo, Dr. Anderson, how much money do I need to get involved? I'd be like 10 grand. Because we on the internet. Buying houses for $1, $5, $100. I mean, that's 200 videos on the internet.
Wow.
Me doing that. My daughter is on the internet, buying property, right?
Wow.
But now if somebody asks me that same question, I'd be like, yo, man, you need to bring 100 G's to the table. Right now. You want to play this game? So that means that if I'm talking like that, then that's deflating the whole balloon that we're inflating. You know what I'm saying? If they don't have no knowledge of how to raise money.
Right.
So this is the misinformation. The misinformation is, well, let me go to the SBA. Right? Let me go apply for the 504 loan or the 7A loan. Right?
Wow.
Or let me go to Bank of America, Wells Fargo, or Chase. Right? They don't know nothing about redlining. Right? Cats haven't done no history that everything under I-20 is by law on banking books is worth 4 times less than it is above I-20. Meaning that same house on Camp Creek, you know what I'm saying, in 30331 that might be the big boy house with the 8 bedrooms is listing at $350,000. If I were to pick that house up and take it to Johns Creek, it's $5 million.
Yeah.
Why is that? So ain't nobody telling us this. Ain't nobody telling us about redlining. Ain't nobody telling about discrimination through zip codes. Ain't nobody telling about the injustice on credit scores. We call this economic injustice. But they tell us to go to Wells Fargo, go to Bank of America, and apply for the loan. Under those conditions. And Negroes don't even know their credit score. So now they going straight into the bank, don't know the credit score, don't know that the redlining game is happening, don't know that the zip code is discriminating against them. And then they get their hopes up thinking that the bank's going to approve them. The bank ain't approving you to go build wealth. That's why they don't lend to real estate investors.
Wow.
So you get your hopes up, you're sitting here waiting for them to call you back, and then they tell you you've been denied and don't give you a reason, but they say they're going to put a letter in the mail that you don't get for 6 months. That's the deal right now, man.
Wow.
So if you don't learn non-traditional ways to raise capital right now and you black, you're not getting in this game. Unless you're gonna go to your homie that's pushing them birds, as you called it earlier,
Right.
moving weight. Yeah, I'm gonna clean up my mama, wash it, like Jay-Z said on 4th.
Right.
Ain't nobody doing that. Ain't nobody washing money, jigging, man. Come on.
Wow.
Who does that?
Right.
So to stop all the madness, I'm saying, listen, here's the space of self-directed IRAs. Here's a space where people got retirement programs, they got millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars sitting right here. Right? And all you gotta do is have knowledge of how to roll that over. Well, Dr. Anderson, you need a license to that. No, you don't. You need a beneficiary company that's licensed to get in between that transaction.
Yes.
You don't need to be licensed.
Right.
But they ain't teaching you this at the Georgia State School of Business. Right? So then that means that if I know somebody that has a retirement, that probably the financial advisor got them in some kind of crazy product like Vanguard, and Vanguard invests in the prison industrial complex, and they happy they getting 8%. Oh, well, you know, I'm getting 8% on my $100,000, Dr. Anderson. But wait a minute. If you investing in real estate tax liens, as you know, that's a guaranteed 20% in the first year,
Absolutely.
10% in the second.
Right.
There's a whole bunch of people that don't have problems rolling that $100,000 over, further directing it to an LLC, and then you go out and buy the damn tax lien,
Right.
and you guaranteeing them 30%. There's a whole bunch of people that don't mind giving you 100 G's for that,
Right.
but you ain't being told that. You being told to go to the bank, fix your credit, go on Craigslist and get your homie to give you some trade lines that's illegal, right?
Right.
And then go back to the very same bank that's discriminating against you to go get some money. And then invest in real estate. Who's telling these people to do this?
It's a lot of that going on too.
That's the misinformation.
It's a lot of that going on.
And
too.
it's intentional to keep your black behind from understanding how to build real wealth. And that's the environment that we working in.
Yeah.
So when people come to this thing, you know, and I don't care what color you are. I'm not saying, you know, like I'm an isolationist and all this stuff. I'm just telling you what I've seen in the past. The last time I had a job was 1999 at UPS on Marvin Miller Drive. It's 2019. So that's 20 years
Right.
that I haven't gotten a W-2. Okay? So what I'm saying is I got something that is changing people's trajectory of their entrepreneurial career. We're not reading enough. We're going to address that at the event. We don't have a sound strategy. We don't know about the development opportunities going on. We don't know nothing about no Aerotropolis going on right on Campbellton Road. They on the Campbellton Road with their pants hanging off their behinds and white t-shirts right now. Don't know. Hey, shouted, what's up, Dr. Anderson? What going on, folks? Aerotropolis? What that about, shouted? What the Aerotropolis about? Tyler Perry done bought the whole entire, you know, Fort McPherson, a military installation. And they talking about flying planes and diverting traffic into East Point. Okay? Because there's so much traffic going on in Hartsfield, Jackson. So all of these things are happening, which is raising the price. You got the Gulf, $500 million. You got the new Mercedes-Benz Dome. Arthur Blank put $300 million of his own money into the Vine City English area. You know what I'm saying? You got the GM plant being redeveloped in Doraville. They talking about bringing $1 billion worth of money in there. You got Amazon putting 4 hubs in Atlanta. You got all of this activity going on. And then in 2026, the FIFA World Cup is going to be held here in Atlanta.
Wait a minute. But I thought the market was about to crash. I thought the economy was
listen
about
to me, man. So the Super Bowl is here in a month. We need to go. I'll explain that to y'all later. 2026, the FIFA World Cup's going to be here. We got a guaranteed 7 years, guaranteed to get paid. And fools is talking about, I need $5, Dr. Anderson. So the market ain't going down, man. The market might be doing stuff around us, but we're operating in an insulated environment because of all of the development that's going on.
Absolutely.
So all you got to do is raise the money and place that money in strategic areas. But if you don't know nothing about what's going on in the neighborhood planning unit, the NPU unit meetings, because you're not going, because you at the Migos concert, right? You can't make those decisions when big money comes in.
Wow.
So people like, yo, Cat called me today. It was like, yo, you always raising money to do projects and stuff. How do you do it? Because I spend a lot of my time and energy knowing where the projects are. Clients know that. They know I know what's up.
Wow.
So when they come into the table with $500,000, $1 million, and they talk about they want to grow over the next 5 years, and we know you're in position, here's the money, place it.
Wow. Wow.
So that's what we need to be getting towards. But you can't get there if you don't know what's going on. You don't know about the Aero Tropics, you don't know about the Ghosts, you don't know about, the Super Bowl, you don't know about the Mercedes-Benz Dome, you don't know about the other projects that are happening here, you don't know about the stuff. How can you go and talk to a client intelligently about them taking $1 million, $500,000, $100,000 off the market and giving it to your black behind?
So we ain't talked about wholesaling, we ain't talked about fixing and flipping, we ain't talked about none of that. But
there's other people at your conference that are good at that.
No. Let me make the point here. The point I'm making here is that people that are watching this, they're probably tuning in because they're looking for.
They're trying to figure it out.
That kind of thing.
Right.
But what you're presenting to them is something on a whole nother level.
Yeah, that's cool when you're starting out.
Right.
When you're trying to figure out.
And that's what I'm trying to get people to see.
You get that 5 Gs because you do that maybe once or twice.
Yeah.
Maybe 5 or 10 times at max. But if you're trying to build and establish yourself, like you said it yourself, we met 2005. So that's a good almost 15 years that we got in the game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That we've known each other.
Right.
And the first part of this video, you're talking about growth and establishment. And I'm saying this is what I've done to do that. Right. I'm not still wholesaling. Like if everything fell apart, I might, but then I'm like, well, we could just run these box trucks and everything is cool, right? So that's like hustling.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that no more. Like I spent my first part of my career, that's what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? Quick hit strategies, the tax liens, no mortgage strategy, 101 ways to make money without selling dope. All of that stuff is cool, but that was where I was 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to discount it saying it's low level entrepreneurship. It's cool. That's what it is. But as a man thinketh, so he is.
So he is.
Right?
Yeah.
As I'm being placed in different environments and I'm getting to see these people that got real paper, what they're doing with it, I'm taking that information and I'm bringing it back to the hood, proverbial hood, and to my people, and I'm saying, listen.
I was just talking about that.
This is what they doing. Cats is going to St. Thomas and they setting up shop. And we hiring 5 people, and I spent $100,000 to build my office because I have to make an investment on island. And they're granting me 30 years of an abatement. You know what that means to my family?
Right.
That $400,000 that I have to give to the IRS, I now can, I can get a bigger boat. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get into that. I got a house down in St. Thomas.
That's
you know what I'm saying? Coral, Bahamas, or whatever. And
Wow.
I can impress upon people that, people are stressed out here. They don't know how to, they can't relax. I can tell somebody to go down there and they can stay as long as they want. They don't have to pay nothing because we own it.
That's what's up.
The new office is at the Yacht Haven Marina. It's like walking distance to the marina. The boat sits at the Yacht Haven Marina. We got to slip. So all I'm saying is we want to establish ourselves. I'm not knocking the wholesaling. I'm not knocking the flipping. I'm not knocking that. What I'm saying is my message is that shouldn't be a modus operandi for a business model over the next 10, 20, 30 years
Absolutely.
to get your
Absolutely.
reparations.
Yeah.
That's cool if you need to pay a bill. You know what I'm saying? To get the people out, you asked earlier, how do we get the people out of, well, I can't see, I don't have vision because I got this bill in front of me. Get rid of the bills. Come on, man. Like, you can't do this game with a mortgage. I talk about it all the time. Who does that?
Yeah.
The etymology in the word mortgage, mortifit, means death. The second word means engagement.
Yeah.
But the man tells you to go get a mortgage to take care of your family and buy a house, and we continue to use that as a first line of defense to buy houses. Who does that? Who continues to do this? You trying to build wealth, you can't handle. I can't make payroll with a mortgage. How I look? Hey, y'all, I can't make payroll this month. It's December, it's Christmas. I can't do it. I gotta pay my mortgage. How I sound? Come on. So we gotta have strategies, man. We gotta come out the box. If I bought a tax lien, I moved in it. You know what I'm saying? You know this.
Yeah.
You know the history. So I put myself in a situation where I can do what I'm doing right now. And so my message is, for those people who want to know what can I do, how can I grow, how can I become successful, put yourself in a situation if you're serious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because sometimes people be talking. They be singing like that Bruno Mars song. Yeah. I wanna. That's that slave talk. I wanna be a billionaire. You don't want to do that. Like, you can do it.
Yeah.
You just have to have a plan. You got some cash. You gotta have the plan. And I'm telling you how to raise insane amounts of cash. I'm also showing you at the conference, at the seminar, how to mitigate your tax obligations. I know Joe Bryan is going to kill that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm going to add my thing to it using Roth IRA constellations and these tax credits that are out here in addition to these Section 934 and 937 of the United States Tax Code. So I ain't coming with no esoteric don't pay taxes strategy. I'm telling you what the U.S. Code says.
Yeah.
This is governed by the United States Congress. It's an act of Congress. So we ain't giving you no misinformation. We telling you what it is. It's up to you to do it.
So is that just in, you said in Virgin Islands or Puerto Rico also?
They have there's 3 different programs. And I'm going to highlight the Puerto Rican program, the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico first, and then I'm going to get into U.S. BIEDC, which is United States Virgin Islands Economic Development Credits. And then I'm going to end with the Roth IRA constellations, because not everybody, you might not be making that kind of money where you got to move your whole office there. We've got a lot of volume and a lot of assets in the field right now, so I had to figure something out because I was like, this bill is crazy and I don't want to have to mitigate this. So that's what I did. But a lot of that can be mitigated through Roth IRA constellations, for instance. And I'll say this before we get out of here. A Roth IRA the government will allow you to put up to $6,500 in a Roth IRA. Okay? So let's say you did a little bit of business, you had one transaction, right? And you bought a house for $20,000 and you sold it for $100,000 or $80,000. So your capital gain was $60,000 and you got your principal back. You might be able to write some of that stuff down in expenses, but let's just say you got a $30,000 capital gain. You're going to have a bill somewhere between $5,000 and $10,000 to the IRS. So with the Roth IRA constellations, if you don't have a Roth IRA set up, you can move $6,500 of that instead of giving it to the Fed. You can put it into your own retirement.
Right.
Okay? Then they got HSA vehicles, HSA IRAs. Right?
You can use it. You can use SHA for it.
Dude, I got an HSA right now, which we dump money into. You can dump up to $6,800 a year in the HSA account.
Right.
And then you can pull against it to use for health expenses. But
tell the folks what the HSA.
Health savings account.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So the health savings account. What they do is sometimes when you have major medical situations, like let's say you go outside and you get hit by a Mack truck or whatever. Even if you got insurance, right? Major. Even if you got insurance, you got Aetna or whatever, you still got to pay that deductible.
Yes, definitely.
Right? And the deductibles, normally people get these deductibles because they want to pay a low amount. They deductibles be like $5,000.
Right.
And so even if you paying $200, $300 a month for health insurance, something major happens, you got to drop that 5Gs, and people don't have it available, and they make these GoFundMe's to get the 5Gs to get the operation going, and they not working on you, so now you dying, right, because you didn't have this 5Gs laying around.
Well, then the GoFundMe comes to bury you. To bury you.
So the HSA account for the entrepreneur is critical. It's golden.
Yes.
Because you can put the $6,800 in the HSA account to offset your tax obligation. You could put the $6,500 in the Roth IRA to offset the tax obligation. So now we up at like $12,000, $13,000.
Right.
Now the inverse, as a real estate investor, is that you can use that HSA account in a self-directed IRA to buy more real estate. Wow. Now we go out and buy a tax lien for $6,000. That tax lien matures after 12 months, right? You go sell it for $100,000. That $100,000 gain goes back into the HSA account tax-free.
Tax-free. Yeah.
Okay.
Now,
but why black people ain't getting this information?
See, here's the thing.
What's up with that, man?
I'm gonna make this point. This event that you guys are coming to is $129.
We changing lives, man.
$129. In the last 30 seconds, he gave you $1 million worth of gain.
$1 million gain. $1 million gain.
Wow.
Yeah, so,
I'm not gonna say anything.
So
else
the constellations are critical. I might start with the constellations because the constellations don't require you to have to move to Puerto Rico or everybody can't do that.
Right.
But
right.
you can put together Roth IRAs in such a way that it's mitigating your tax obligation.
Absolutely.
You follow what I'm saying? I mean, like the Roth, there's a vehicle that you can use that you can put up to $55,000 in it. The SEP, the SCP program, SCP IRAs, you can drop $55,000 in there. Yes, sir.
Really?
The self-employment program IRA is built for entrepreneurs because we don't have one. The SCP is probably it's a very powerful vehicle. SCP is a self-employment self-employment program IRA for entrepreneurs. Government will allow you to put up to $55,000 into the SCP IRA. All right. So that means if I made some money and I dump $55,000 into it, I can do that over the course of the next 10 years. I have $500,000 or a little bit more than that in my self-employment IRA. In addition to that, I can take the SCP as a self-directed IRA and buy more real estate with it. So if I take that 50 G's that's in there annually and buy tax liens and just wait till next year, right? I can buy about 5 tax liens, maybe 5 to 10 tax liens with $50,000 and turn it into at least $500,000 to $1 million in a year, 24 months, 12 to 24 months. That all goes back into that SCP tax-free. So these are critical strategies that entrepreneurs that I'm learning don't know about. Because cats are like, what? What? Dr. Anderson? SCP what?
I didn't know about the SCP.
SCP is powerful, man. Traditional IRAs are powerful as a self-directed Roth IRA product. You know what I'm saying? Or as a self-directed IRA product.
Talk to my man. Why he never told me about that?
Roth is tax-free. This dude, William Roth, is unbelievably unreal. You got to Google this cat. This dude figured this whole thing out for Roth IRAs. That's why they call it Roths. They're totally tax-free. That's why you got to read this book by Dan McKnight, The Power of Zero. Because Dan talks about these buckets.
I haven't read it, but I think I have it.
So there's a bucket strategy. There's a taxable bucket. It's the money that you're making, the transactional money. Then there's the 401k bucket. You know what I'm saying? That's the bucket that you're participating with the government in. Because the 401k program is a participation bucket. And then there's the tax-free bucket, which is like the Roth IRAs and all of those other products. And so the key is to take the income from the taxable bucket and move it into the tax-free bucket.
Yes.
But you can't dump $100,000 into the tax-free bucket because they got limits on it. So what you got to do is you got to dump 100 G's. You can dump 55 in the SCP, and in a traditional IRA you could do like 18.5 or whatever. They changed the numbers, so I got to read up on that for 2019. But you can juice your taxable or your deferred tax deferred bucket is what I'm getting to.
Right.
You can juice that up and then take the difference and put that into the tax-free bucket. And there's another strategy that I learned about at the Self-Directed IRA conference where you can move the tax-deferred bucket into the tax-free bucket through something called a backdoor IRA strategy. So there's all kind of ways.
Come back again. You went to a self-directed IRA conference?
Yeah. I stay at conferences.
See, that's why, brother.
I be the only black person in there. I be raising my hand, asking the most intricate questions. They were like, "Who's that black guy in the back?" Yeah, man, that's where you get your info.
Yes,
I'm not getting my info from the barbershop. I'm not asking my homeboy who's cutting my hair how to invest in my portfolio. Get out of here with that. I'm going to the self-directed IRA conference. And when I want to learn about building my YouTube page past 150,000 views, my whole staff is going to the traffic and engagement conference in San Diego.
Wow.
When I want to learn how to build, homes that are environmentally friendly and they're sustainable and independent and affordable, I'm going to the Battery Conference in Chicago. When I want to learn how to build container homes, I'm going to the Container Home Conference out in LA. I mean, there's conferences for this type of stuff. It's not like I'm making it up. I'm some just smart dude. I'm going to these conferences and I'm getting the thought leaders in that space and I'm pulling them aside and I'm getting their cell phone numbers. I'm putting them on my boat. Right? I'm building relationships with them. So when I'm having problems and I'm like, yo, I got to raise $10 million to do this project, to build this hotel, I'm calling the person who organized the self-directed IRA conference and I'm asking him, yo, how do I pull down $10 million on a rollover?
Right.
It's not rocket science. But
So how much the conference cost? Give me an idea what one conference might cost.
The self-directed IRA conference? We went for free. We were invited. They bought our whole staff up.
What's the average?
$129.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So for something like that, I mean, and I'm making a point with this. For something like that, a lot of people would miss the necessity of going to something like that. a self-directed, like I didn't know that they had a self-directed conference. I know they have luncheons.
I learned about the Roth constellation at the self-directed IRA conference.
Wow.
I would never be able to present. That's a key part of my presentation at your place. I wouldn't be able to present that knowledge had I not gone to the self-directed IRA conference. Because remember, I told you earlier in the summer, my bill was $400,000. How do you cut a $400,000 bill down to $200,000? You don't just do that by having Brian elect for S Corp status. There's some other things that had to happen.
Right. Absolutely.
So some of them other things were taken from the Roth constellation concept, which I learned about at the self-directed IRA conference. I wouldn't be able to tell you about the HSA account. I didn't even tell you about the CISA account. The CISA account is a covered all educational savings account, CISA. You could put $2,000 in that joint for the kids for education.
Wow.
So that means that a struggling single mom, right? She don't have to be a superstar real estate investor. She could put $2,000 in an account for her child. And she working a job. She working UPS. She puts $2,000 in this covered all educational account. The kid is 2 years old. She goes out, buy a tax lien in Decatur because they got the $2,000 tax liens out in Decatur. And then she holds it for 12 months, right? Sells it for 50 grand. And now that capital gain, it's a land lot. Capital gain goes back into the covered all educational account. The kid, 3 years old, got 50 G's in an account for college.
So this is what you're going to be talking about at the
I'm
event.
blowing your thing up, man. We changing people's lives. I told you that, man. I'm not playing.
So look,
like when they come, what I got to say, it's going to transform how they think about what they were supposed to be doing. They think they come in there to learn how to flip houses.
Right. Yeah, no, they don't. This is not just about flipping houses.
Just saying. There's some people who think that it's just about that.
Yeah.
When I get done with these folks, man, it's gonna be a wrap.
Man, I already know.
It's
See, I'm
over.
already like the stuff you saying. Like man, I'm way behind the eight ball.
You're not.
So tell you made a point of something earlier, and this is what we're gonna wrap on right here. You made a point of something earlier about people coming to these events and leaving and not doing anything.
Oh, they kill me. We call them info junkies. Come on, Dr. Anderson. Come on, because I know I'm pushing information. I sling information.
Right.
So it's my job to have info. I got you, baby.
Right.
What you need? Come on, baby. Come on, Dr. Anderson. Just hook me up. Can you, baby? Come on, baby. So I know what it is.
Right.
Because I seen them last year, and I seen them at I seen them at George Fraser's conference. Right. I seen them at Mike Roberts' conference. I seen them at Black Enterprise. If they know, y'all know who y'all are. Y'all. Give me that information, Dr. Anderson. So the info junkies are cool, because they egg me on.
Right.
So you're gonna need them to be there, because they're gonna. It's like the church, you know what I mean? That's right. Say it again, Anderson. So I need them because they're gonna prime me to give you what you need, right?
Right.
Because we're not worried about the info junkies.
Right.
They're gonna be there next Sunday.
Right.
That's right. Say it, Anderson. But they be like after church, they be like, "Come on, Dr. Anderson, come on, baby, give me some more. Give me that info, baby, give me that info." So I got books for them.
Right.
I got books, I got merchandise, I got products for the info junkies.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
I had to pay $300,000, $400,000 in taxes on just product last year. So
Wow.
I need them. I need them, baby. But that's not who I'm worried about.
Right.
There's real people that are coming, all jokes aside, there's real people that are coming that really are trying to figure it out. Listen, you're the first conference for the year.
That's what's up.
You setting the temperament for what folks are gonna do for next year. So I'm always gonna do your conference, no matter what's going on.
I appreciate that.
Because
I
listen,
appreciate that.
we did your conference last year, and the connections that were made there
Yes.
are still in place
Absolutely.
now
Yeah.
and have grown.
Right.
Right? Brian's coming with me down to Virgin Islands to meet with the government so he can figure out, how the taxes is going to be handled.
Okay.
He's handling that.
Let me know when that's happening. I'm rolling with that too.
So all I'm saying is,
I need to get out more.
come on.
Yeah. I need to get out more.
So what I'm saying is, this conference is a lot bigger than a flyer going out on the internet.
Definitely.
Talking about
Yeah.
flipping houses. It's bigger than that, man. This is the first conference for money, real estate, wealth building in Atlanta for the year. And you got some high-level entrepreneurs that are going to be present.
High level.
Giving and pouring into y'all for the purpose of you being able to do what it is that you're supposed to do, that you've been called to do. Let me say this, man. We're not supposed to be living on no brokenness. God didn't call us to be broke, man. I don't believe that.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
And everybody talking about, oh, the abundant life, God gonna bless me, and I'm praying to the Lord, and Jesus bless me. Come on, man. Jesus Christ ain't blessing you, man. Let's just keep it all the way 100, man.
Oh no, man. Wait a minute now. Wait a minute.
Hear me out. You gotta do something.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely.
You gotta do something.
Faith without works.
You gotta, it's dead.
Absolutely.
So you gotta go out and activate what it is that God has intended for you.
Yes.
And if you don't have the knowledge and the information and resources to do that, then you disrespecting God's word.
You're right. It ain't beating down your door to get to you if you ain't going to look for it.
Come on, you gotta go to these. I gotta go to these conferences. I spend big money to go to these conferences, man.
That's what's up.
So I've paid the price, man. You know, and I'm bringing that information back to the people that need it. That's what God told me to do. He said, get this to the people that need it. I can't help it. There's info junkies that's coming to the con. There's always going to be info junkies. There's groupies at the conference. There's info junkies. But in the midst of all that minutia, there's people that really are trying to figure it out.
That's what's up.
And that's our job.
Which one are you going to be? Hey, listen, man. And now, most of this, you know, another person, you know, we had Mr. Marquell on, and
that's
you know,
my man.
I was speechless.
That's my man.
Because it's being able to be connected with guys like you, man, to have this information to share with people that are really, really missing it. That's what's really important about putting this type of event together, you know. And I got with him actually not too long ago, and he agreed to come and be a part of it. And I was like, man, this is going to be amazing.
Marquell has a story that's very necessary.
Yes.
You know, because he's reaching a younger demographic that I might not be able to. I mean, I'll probably reach them. They're probably listening to me, but he's identifying with that.
Absolutely.
You know, I would even say as young as 25 to 35-year-old black male.
Right.
And that's the demo.
Absolutely.
We need to rethink
Definitely.
and retool.
Yeah.
You know, so he's got a space, man. I tell him this all the time. He's got a space, and he's working that space. He knows his lane, and he's working it. I'm proud of his growth. But it takes all of these narratives. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
It's not just one that's not, oh, I'm coming to see Dr. Anderson. No, you have to listen to all of these philosophies, and then you know, somebody, it might be a woman that comes and say, oh, this is my son needed to hear this.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
Or my husband. You know.
That's what's
so
up.
it takes all of these different speakers to drop this knowledge to get to change.
Absolutely. Listen, man, again, thank you so much, brother, for doing this.
Anytime.
Listen, y'all need to be at this event.
January 19th, right?
January 19th.
One day only?
It probably should. We probably gonna do that. Listen, your word, next year we do it the whole weekend.
It needs to be a weekend. It needs to be a whole weekend.
Listen, y'all definitely need to be at this event. I don't know if there's anything else to say. What's the parting words you got for the folks, man?
Some parting words?
Yeah.
At the hell of that?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Google that.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. Listen, that's it. It's a wrap. Listen, thank y'all for watching. We'll see y'all at the event. We'll see you on the show next week, but we'll definitely see you at the event. Have a good day.
Peace.